students, welcome back to our biology classes. This is Divya Kainamili and I am going to teach you biology classes for you guys. Yes students, today here we are to understand about the hierarchy of classification, that is nothing but grouping of organisms into several groups, right? So let us learn that classification of organisms, right? So yes, we know that this is the concept which is coming under the chapter diversity in living organisms. So students, when you see here, yes, we understood what do you mean by classification, how evolution plays an important role in the classification. All those things we have learnt already. Okay, so today it is the time to understand who were the pioneers for the classification of these organisms into 5 kingdoms. Okay, so students, if you see here, this concept of classification, as we know that it is a time immemorial process which is being taken place. So the first person who went to the concept of classifying the organisms into broad divisions is nothing but father of modern taxonomy, that is Carolus Linnaeus. So Carolus Linnaeus, he divided the entire organisms into 2 groups, that is 2 kingdoms. So what do you mean by kingdom? Yes, all the organisms have been divided broadly into a group. That group we call it as a kingdom. So when you see this kingdom, yes, it includes a very different types of organisms have been placed under this kingdom. So Carolus Linnaeus have classified all the organisms into 2 kingdoms, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. So this point of classification was in practice for many years, but it was not existed for many long years. Why? Because here in this type of classification, Linnaeus did not included the organism, means he did not characterize the organisms that are either prokaryotic or eukaryotic. He didn't justify that, or even he did not categorize the organisms whether they are unicellular or multicellular. Everything was stubbed out in these 2 kingdoms. So because of this division which was given by the Carolus Linnaeus was not accepted for too many years. Okay, so later, yes, this person came into existence, that is Ernest Haeckel. Okay, Ernest Haeckel, he also kept his point of classification, that is he gave 3 kingdom classification. So still now we have understood that 2 kingdom classification was there, and later, yes, Ernest Haeckel, he classified all the organisms into 3 kingdoms. That means from the kingdom Plantae and Animaliae, he separated few organisms and he made these organisms into a new kingdom, that is Monera. Okay, so now how many kingdoms have become? Plantae, Animaliae and Monera. So Monera, this classification was given based upon what? Whether the organisms are prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Okay, so let us go into the topic. When we understand that, we will be explaining you. Okay, so Ernest Haeckel brought out the kingdom Monera and he gave the concept of 3 kingdom classification. And yet, still this 3 kingdom classification is also not perfectly justified. Okay, later one more person have came, that is Copeland. Okay, so Copeland, he came and he gave the method of 4 kingdom classification where he included the kingdom Protista. Kingdoms we have Plantae, Animaliae and then Monera and Protista. So this become a 4 kingdom classification. But the classification which was proposed by Robert Whittaker was ultimately justified, and then it become a 5 kingdom classification which includes 5 kingdoms. That is, what is the kingdom which was given by the Robert Whittaker? That is fungi. So Robert Whittaker gave the kingdom fungi and he made the classification into 5 kingdoms, and this type of classification we call as 5 kingdom classification, which includes Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Okay, so these are the 5 kingdoms that are present in the 5 kingdom classification. So, as this 5 kingdom classification was proposed by whom? Yes, students, it was given by Robert Whittaker. So, this 5 kingdom classification is also called as Whittaker's classification. Why? Because this concept of 5 kingdom was given by Robert Whittaker. So, on what basis Whittaker have classified these organisms into 5 kingdoms? Yes, based upon the cell structure. Okay, for example, the organism, whether it is having a cell wall or not. So, presence and absence of cell wall, it is one of the characteristic feature which will be considered as a cell structure. Then, mode and source of nutrition. So, the mode and source of nutrition of an organism, it is also one of the key point for the classification which was proposed by Whittaker. So, what is the mode of nutrition of an organism? Either it might be autotrophic or it might be what? Heterotrophic. Okay, so based upon that, yes, the organisms have been classified, and even body organization. Body organization means here whether the organism is eukaryotic or prokaryotic. Okay, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. Right? So like that, based upon this, the organisms have been finally classified into 5 kingdoms, and this 5 kingdom classification was proposed by Robert Whittaker in the year 1969. So this was the best way of classification which was even existed today also. Even today we are following the same 5 kingdom classification. Okay, understood. And in this 5 kingdom classification, the broadest division is the kingdom and the smallest division is the species. Okay, not only this, later Carl Hughes. So Carl Hughes is also one of the key person who classified the Monera into further subdivisions. Means he classified the Monerans into 2 groups, that is Archaea and Eubacteria. So I will explain you what do you mean by Archaea and what do you mean by Eubacteria when I am going to explain in detail about Monera. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you by telling you now about Archaea and Eubacteria. So Archaea and Eubacteria, which are organisms that comes under the kingdom Monera. Okay, this subdivision under Monera, it was proposed by Carl Hughes. Okay, it is also playing an important role in 5 kingdom classification. Okay, so we understood that the kingdom, it is the broadest division, and see, when you see the basic unit of classification, it is nothing but the species. What do you mean by species then? A species includes all the organisms that are similar enough to breed and perpetuate. Okay students, it is very clear the definition. So a species, it is a group of organisms where it includes all the organisms which are what? They are similar enough. They are similar enough to breed and perpetuate. That means the organisms which are similar and they should be able to reproduce among themselves, and they need to give birth to a fertile offspring. Okay, so those group of organisms, we call them as a species. For example, a sheep will give birth to a sheep. Understanding? So that means all the sheep are coming at one particular category. So all sheep will we call it as it is one species. So sheep is different from goat, right? So a goat will give birth to only to goat. It won't give birth to a cat, right? So goat is one species. Cat is one species. Though cat looks like a tiger, but cat and tiger are not same species. Cat gives birth to cat and tiger gives birth to tiger. That means a tiger is separate species and a cat is a separate species. I think now you are able to understand, right? So a species, it is a group where it includes the organisms which are able to reproduce among themselves, and they should be able to give birth to a fertile offspring. Fertile offspring means what here, students? That means the offspring which have been born, it should be able to reproduce again. classification. So once we have understood the five kingdom classification, later this classification was done based upon the similarities, and they had been done into subgroups as follows, like kingdom, phylum. So phylum, when the classification it is about animals, okay, we call it as phylum. When it is about the plants, we should say division. So when the kingdom is about animals, we include the phylum as the next sub classification. Okay, if it is of animals, then it should be division. Okay, then after phylum, what is the subdivision? Class. After class, what is the subdivision? Order. After order, family. Family next, genus, and genus next, species. Okay, here a kingdom includes many phylums, and the phylum includes many classes, and a class includes many orders, and many orders includes many family, and a family includes many genus, and a genus includes a species. Okay, and species, it is the individual group. It is a separate group where it includes the same type of organisms we have understood. Okay students, this is about today's class. Let us learn in detail about each kingdom in the next class. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel.